And we're live. So I'm just going to do the usual checks. I come online. Welcome to the Musitude broadcast. Okay. Looking at YouTube to make sure we're running. And we're live. So I'm usual checks. I come online. I'm hearing my voice twice. Think about that. Let's have a look at the OBS settings. Let's try it now. And we're live. So it's not a loop, isn't it? Usual checks. Okay. Come online. I'm hearing my voice twice. Think about that. Let's have a look at the OBS settings. I think the camera was picking up some audio too. Let's try it now. Okay. And we're live. So it's not a loop, isn't it? It's looping. Checks. Come online. Just give me a second. I'm hearing my voice twice. Think about that. Let's have a look at the OBS settings. I gotta turn the audio off on. I think the camera. The channels I'm monitoring with. Let's try it now. Okay. And we're live. That's no audio on there. So it's not a loop, isn't it? It's looping. Just give me a second. I'm hearing my voice twice. There. It was on Periscope. Think about that. Let's have a look at the OBS settings. Alright, I should have broken the loop. I gotta turn the audio. I disabled the audio on Periscope. Monitoring with. Let's try it now. Okay. And we're live. That's no audio on there. So it's not a loop, isn't it? It's looping. Just give me a second. Twice. There. It was on Periscope. Blocking that light. Alright, I should have broken the loop. I gotta turn the audio. I disabled the audio on Periscope. Monitoring with. Let's try it now. Okay. That's no audio on there. Why is it still looping? Just give me a second. Damn. Periscope. Blocking that light. Alright, I should have broken the loop. I disabled the audio on Periscope. All the ones I'm monitoring is still looping. Damn. Oh, sorry. I am dumb. It was YouTube. Audio was still on YouTube. Let me just leave the audio off for a second. Because last week I streamed for an entire 28 minutes without realizing that my audio wasn't even working. And now I've got double the audio. So let me just put the audio back on. And see, alright, I'm going to clap my hands so I know. Right, that shouldn't loop. Because last week I streamed for an entire 28 minutes without realizing that my audio wasn't even working. And now I've got double the audio. So let me just put the audio back on. And see, alright, I'm going to clap my hands so I know. Right, that shouldn't loop. Because last week I streamed for... Okay. We're online on Twitch, DLive, Periscope and YouTube. Coming soon Facebook. Mick says out of the picture. They've cancelled my contract. They gave me my 20 million. Fair enough. So now a new update. I was using a Logitech G20 922. Yeah, 922 camera for the face cam, which I'm still using. And a Logitech slightly older model 920 for the keyboard cam. But the focus on it was making me mental. It was kept changing focus, and you know it's like with Logitech cams. They're good cameras, but they're just rubbish software. So I bought a Sony A5100, and the reason why I'm streaming so late is because I'm still learning about how to set the exposure. So anyway, I think the picture looked quite good. I still got to master all the other settings to make it look perfect, but I think the good thing about it is I've set it to manual focus, so it won't catch a focus. It's set to this focus, and it's pretty good. Actually, if I big this up, got a nice clean focus, whereas it looks a bit fuzzy with the Logitech one. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Actually, when I first plugged it in tonight, it looked worse than the Logitech camera because the settings were all wrong. So yeah, I'm happy with that camera. It might seem like a bit of an overkill. It's a mirrorless camera. It costs about £400, and I had to pay another £100 for a capture card. Eek. Anyway, so the important thing is, as I learn my production skills, to give a really good view of the keyboard while I demonstrate playing technique and stuff. Also, let me just look at there's not much latency, is there? A little bit of latency. I wonder if it's my computer. Anyway. Yeah, so let me just check something. Desktop audio latency. Okay. So yeah, because when I'm playing sometimes there was latency before, but I think it's going to be a lot better using this camera. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is just let me remove that. I'm going to do what I always do when I start a Musitude stream. That is play a Musitude piece. Let's go back to this then. So yeah, welcome to the Musitude stream. I'm doing these more often, still intermittent. A few days with setup, a few days with editing, and a few days with prep, and then doing one. So I want to get to the point where I'm doing them every day, even if it is for 1 or 2 hours. So let me just jump straight into this and play the piece. I always go to the same piece recently because I recently transcribed this and I like it. And now I want to play it with this camera, but first I need to deploy the Musitude merch. And also I like to start off the podcast with some ASMR for my loyal viewers. Oh yeah, sparkling water, baby. 8 of these for £1.50. It's about 18 pence each. And I just had 10 8-packs delivered on Amazon. So I'm good for water for a while. Alrighty, I haven't played this piece for a while. Is this size adjustment? There it is. The thing about using this A5100 is it blocks the screen, so you might see me doing this when I get to the end of a piece. Okay, here we go. Bring up sound. Oh, that sounds. Alright, see how that sounds. Play it as a duet. I usually like to leave the tracker off myself and go with the rhythm, but it looks better on screen, I guess. Oh no, that tracker was coming in way too soon, wasn't it? Oh, it came in a whole beat too soon. You know what? I know it's going to sound like a terrible excuse, but let me get centered. I'm trying to tap my foot, but if my foot gets distracted by something in the way, then I lose my rhythm. But the table leg is sort of in the way. So let me just get a comfortable foot tapping. Alright, no excuses now. It should have been. Still, not bad. It shows that I've been practicing it, so getting better. Alrighty, so what is on the agenda for tonight? Well, don't really have a plan. I'm still practicing setup, so there's that. And it's getting easier and easier, making less mistakes and less mistakes. And also, when I do get stuck with some technical difficulties, I'm increasingly confident that I can sort them out, like I just did with the camera. When I first plugged the Sony a5100 in, the picture was all washed out and horrible looking. My exposure settings were completely wrong. Yeah, I followed a few different YouTube guides about setting up for live streaming, but they had conflicting advice on some of the settings. But anywho, let me just zip over to one watching. VIT 2020 just followed on DLive, but there's no date or time to the follow, so I don't know if it was from a previous one. But still, that's cool. And what's going on with so right now we're streaming on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, and Periscope, which is basically Twitter. And our plan is to add Facebook pretty soon, actually. I'm supposed to do this now when I address the camera. Yeah, we're going to add Facebook, and obviously we're not bothering to stream to Mixer anymore. I actually don't even know if it's shut down yet. I think it's shutting down any time now. So we're not going to stream to Mixer, but so we'll be on Facebook, YouTube, DLive, Periscope. Could add others. I mean, because we're not affiliated with any one, we just want to get people to see Musitude. So it could go to lots of others. I mean, you can even stream to LinkedIn. Think about that. But for now, I think it's good that we'll focus. I mean, DLive, yeah, you get a few people coming to DLive now and again, but I don't think it's going to take over the world anytime soon. And Periscope is a weird one. Really, really rubbish resolution, and but people seem to come and watch it. But yeah, the big three that dominate the live streaming is going to be Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. It's going to be interesting to see how they slug it out as well. I mean, Twitch is by far the biggest platform now, with what, like 60%, 65%. But I feel like because they don't have discoverability and they don't have a wider platform, I feel like gradually YouTube and to a lesser degree Facebook is going to swallow them up. If YouTube wants to. It's not completely clear actually if YouTube really wants to. But if YouTube want to do, they could just swallow everything up. I mean, look at when PewDiePie or Ninja go on there, they get like 150,000 viewers live. It's crazy. All right, so our plan is to do the Musitude live stream and to increasingly show people what Musitude is and build up an audience. And it won't be just me playing pieces. I'm going to be, like the piece I've just played, I actually transcribe from traditional music to Musitude notation. So it'll be me doing that as well. Currently every day I'm doing note memorization exercises. So I can look at sheet music and know exactly what note it is, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then transcribe it into our notation. I'm not a musician, but I can read music in a basic way, but not in a sight reading way. So I tried to play several instruments so I could read the music and play the note, but I never did the thing where you memorize, you look at the space on the line, oh that's G, that's A, that's D. But now I'm doing it just so I can do the transcribing much quicker than looking at a chart, oh that's a D, that's an F. So I'll be doing that. And also once we get more and more comfortable with the podcast, with the live stream, I want to add a podcast element into it. And the nature of the podcast will be Musitude, the startup, Musitude, the organization. So what I'll start doing is I'll start out by doing a few episodes where it's recapping where Musitude comes from, where the idea came from, how it all got started, what the challenges were, what the experiences in building it were. And then I'll bring the history of it up to date. And then I'll start doing a week by week or month by month, monthly podcast, weekly, where we can give an update and talk about Musitude, what's going on in the world of Musitude. We already have a newsletter. Need to get another issue out, actually. So, and I'll bring on different team members of Musitude and chat with them and with you. That'd be cool, actually. Most podcasts are just, I suppose most podcasts are just pre-recorded, but these days it's becoming more common that a podcast will be done as part of a live stream with chat, having a chat with the guests on the podcast. So, yeah, and then another thing I'll do is I thought it would be cool because I've done a few pitches to potential investors, but I thought it would be cool one day to actually go and do a pitch on camera to an investor. In other words, have them on as a guest of the podcast where I make my pitch. So almost like a reverse Dragon's Den. Invite the investors. If we get a decent audience, I think that would attract investor types. So if we get a decent audience, we could even make it a regular thing. A reverse dragon. What's the opposite of a dragon? Reverse Dragon's Den. So one after the other, potential investors come onto the Musitude podcast, and I pitch them, and I tell them beforehand to be brutally honest and be harsh as you want, and then they can decide on air to tell us what they think, and I think that'll be fun. Alrighty, so that's enough yakking from me. I'm going to dive in and play another piece. As usual, I go to the duets, but sometimes we've got a few ensembles on there. Oh, I haven't played this one for a while. The Swan. Okay, you can see these two dots at the bottom of the screen. No, you can't because I'm blocking it. I'm getting better at this. Right, there you go. You can see these two dots at the bottom of the screen. So this just means there's 2 pages. If there's only 1 page, it won't have any dots. Now, what would be the best key to press on a keyboard if I wanted to turn the page? So I'm playing the piece, I'm typing away. In this case, it's a violin, so let me play the alphabet. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, M, N, O, P. So if I'm playing away, and now I need to turn the page, what traditional musicians have to do is reach over, turn the page, come back, try and squeeze it in. So with Musitude, it's very simple. What was the most intuitive key, do you think, for turning a page? It's the enter key, isn't it? So watch what happens on the screen when I press that. Boom, page turns. If I want to go back, which key has the word back in it? Backspace. Boom. So let's go back to this view. If I'm playing away this piece and then I get to the end of this page, press enter, and it goes to there. Now sometimes if a piece is really busy and the last few notes are really busy ones, it can be difficult to reach over the enter key. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll resize the page and see if I can get a longer, which I can't, a longer note. Or sometimes even fit the whole thing on the screen. But I don't see any opportunity for that, so let's have a look. Yeah, so I'm going to stick with the normal size. So, oh, I can't see the screen because of the camera. That's all right. So basically, this is an ensemble. The reason why it's different from a duet is a duet has 2 parts. An ensemble has 3 or more parts. We've got some pieces with 4 or 5 parts. So we split the piano. This is a piano and a cello, so we split the piano into 2 parts actually. And so I'm going to play the cello part. And before I do that, I'm going to show you what the cello part should sound like. Now this is a husband and wife. They're really a wonderful couple, and they play pieces, sometimes pop songs, sometimes classical, and they play these pieces on their website. When I saw this piece, and I actually wrote to them and asked if I could use this on the website and in the live stream, and they wrote back really nice, just saying, yeah, I'm happy for you to use it. So the wife is playing the piano and the husband is playing the cello. So I'm saying that with Musitude, what he plays, you can play. And if you're any good with a keyboard, you can play within minutes, even if you're not a musician, you can't read music, you've never played an instrument. So I'll just play the opening part, I won't play it all. And then just imagine, I'm saying you can play this with Musitude on the keyboard. Here we go. I was changing the views on the stream, but it also affected the. Yeah. All right. I won't do that again. I wonder if the algorithm on YouTube or Twitch will pick that up and block the sound. Anyway, I just realised here's one by Yo-Yo Ma. It's the same one. Let's see how he plays it. A bit more gentle. I think I prefer the Brooklyn Duo guys one. It's a bit more soulful. All right, you get the picture. So I'm saying with Musitude, as long as you can use a keyboard fairly well, you can play that. And so you're going to hear the piano, which is the website playing the piano part, and you're going to hear the cello, which is, well, we're using the violin here, but you get the picture. So these here are rests. A rest in music means count that beat, but don't play it. And the reason why you have them there instead of just starting here is because the part I'm playing with, which is the piano, does have music along there. Sorry, I just killed a mosquito. So I'm going to now tell the website to play part 2 and part 3. So I click play all accompaniments. And then when it comes to here, I'm going to play. And I'm going to play just what he played. And the reason why I love to use this piece to demonstrate is because it's classical, it's elegant, and it's slow. And so it's easy to pick up. And also, because it's so elegant and lovely, well, it's classical in the general sense, it's from the Romantic era. But even though it's a respected, wonderful piece, you feel a sense of accomplishment. And also it breaks the mentality of, oh, I could never be a musician, I couldn't play that. All right, so let me just play it for you once and then we'll talk a bit more about it. There, as you see, I finished playing the piece early, just as I came in late, and the piano completed. So yeah, that piece is fairly easy to play. I've seen lots of people play that piece, especially after I show them that YouTube video, and all their life they believe they're not musicians. They can't read music, they can't play an instrument, and many of them, like me, actually tried. Many of them, like me, picked up an instrument, even took lessons. Gosh, I took lessons. I spent £15 an hour going to the Barbican Centre and paying a guy to teach me clarinet. I was a rubbish student. I put the effort in, I put the time in, and months and months and months went by. But I never reached the point where I could play the instrument and get joy so that it regenerates the energy and the desire to go and put energy back into it again. Never reached that sustainability point. Kids reach that point with video games the first time they pick up a controller and play Super Mario. But music, it takes a lot of effort and practice and mastery before you can get enough joy from it back that it generates energy. You know, even two friends having a conversation, you could talk for 10 hours. Oh, where's the time gone? They're not tired, they're so energized. Because whatever you do, spending mental, emotional, and physical energy, if you get stimulated by the result, the energy regenerates and it's a sustainable thing. And once somebody becomes proficient with a musical instrument and reading music and playing music, then it becomes sustainable because they get joy from whatever they do, even though they're still putting effort into learning new pieces and playing pieces. But the joy they get outweighs the effort they put in. And people are willing to put in effort and suffer and sacrifice their time and their social life to learn something like a musical instrument because they have hope that they will get joy from it at some point. But traditional music instrument was invented 1,000 years ago and refined over the next 500, 600, 700 years. But it wasn't invented, it wasn't done with user-friendly, UX or UI. It wasn't done with user interface or user experience sensibilities. And so people who were the geniuses of creating music and musical instruments, they didn't really have the discipline of thinking, does a dunce like Peter understand this, or should we make it a bit accessible for them? And so traditional music and instruments are fantastic for what they do, for who they serve. But here are the statistics. Only 3% of people can read music, traditional music, and play an instrument. So you might ask, well, you might say, well, that's fine. Let those 3% play music and the rest of us will listen to it. And one second. And but the reality is, even though only 3% can read music and play an instrument, and 90% want to, 90% want to, sorry, 97, so I'm getting my stats mixed up. 3% of people can read music and play an instrument. 97% can't, but 90% of all people want to, even though they can't. What is 90% of 97%? It's 87.3%. So 87.3% of all people who are in the same category I was in really want to learn and play an instrument, but just struggle to learn. So it's not actually that people don't want to, just because the evidence, the fact that you see 97% not doing it, maybe 97% don't want to do it. That's not the case. Most want to, but every time they try it, it's just prohibitively difficult and too much of a challenge. So they don't give up because they no longer want to, they give up because with regret that sorry they couldn't progress. So Musitude solves that issue, because instead of them having to learn an instrument interface which, boom, they don't know, we take this interface, the QWERTY keyboard, or with the mobile app, the mobile phone keyboard, and we retask it as a musical instrument, which means they're not having to learn a new interface or a new anything. They're taking something they already know and just using it as a musical instrument. And after all, if you think about it, drums were not musical instruments, were they, when they were first invented? And neither were trumpets. They were communication devices. So ironically, this is a communication device that's now being converted into a musical instrument, but it's not the first, because drums on battlefields and trumpets were both used for communicating instructions. So, and I think they were used before they were used for musical instruments. So people who can read their ABCs and people who can use a keyboard or a mobile keypad, they actually can use a musical instrument. They just didn't think of it as a musical instrument in the past. So let me play another piece in demonstration of this principle. I'm going to play this for a while. So this has got 3 parts. Henry Purcell, finally a British composer, an English composer. He's well medieval, so it's always going to be a bit, this music always a bit, I don't know, it's always a little bit sad. Here we go. There. And let's have another one. I'll play this for a while. This is why it all started, because this is my favorite Beethoven piano sonata. Yeah, I'm making it smaller because it's on one screen. It's on 2 screens. If I press the enter key, it feels silly for half a line. So I'll just make it smaller. So also this is piano sonata, so the left hand of the piano is separated into 2 parts. And I'm going to play which is essentially the right hand of the piano. And I always found this piece to be just kind of mysterious and kind of unusual. So I was happy when I could finally transcribe it into non-traditional Musitude notation, so I could play it. So I'm going to play part 1, and because I already have part 1 loaded on the screen, the website knows not to autoplay part 1. If I click play accompaniments, because it knows I'm doing this, it will play these. If I was to load part 2, and then I told it to play all accompaniments, it would know that part 1 and part 3 are now the accompaniments. So here we go. Play all accompaniments. Beethoven. messed up a note there a little bit at the end. So yeah, that's the Beethoven piece. So if you go to the website, Musitude website, you'll be met with this screen. I think it's self-evident, although some people try to play the pieces by clicking like this on them. So yeah, you can go to this screen and then you can play the sample piece, and you don't need to sign up. You can just go through and just play all the pieces on the website that are available. And maybe I'll give it a little tour. Let's find a piece, Tetris. Okay, so if you click here, where are we, Discord, it'll take you to a link to join our Discord. You can chat with us there. Here's just a little explanation, a bit wordy. We need to get this a bit more interactive and attractive. Of course, I've been using this to browse. Search is really fast, so if I just type Beethoven, boom. Or if I wanted to type, what was the piece I was just going to play? Tetris. See how fast it is. So if we go here, we can turn off the sound so that right now if I type, you're going to get, but I can turn that off. Here you can change the speed of the piece, either of the tracker or of the accompaniment. So we have five speed settings: normal, then fast and very fast, and slow and very slow. We didn't want to have a massive variation, but later we will. But we'll have it in more incremental speeds. And here you can change the range. So if I press the F key on the keyboard, if I go down one range, it moves everything down an octave. And I can go down another octave, or to the top. But this piece is set in range 3. Tracking is if you want, well, if I just click this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it just helps people keep a sense of where they're at. This is for choosing the part. There it is. If I wanted to play this, it would be. Recognize that? So I'm playing part 1. And here I could obviously change the different instruments. So I could play this on the harp. Not bad. It's hard to think what the right instrument is for banjo. But we've set it as default to piano. Alright, so I'm going to play this a bit faster. So again, the website will play part 2. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the instrument to something a bit more wacky sounding, such as, and this time I'm going to what's that noise? I'm going to big up the keyboard cam screen so you can see my technique on playing, even though you won't be able to see the notation so much. Here we go. yeah, that was fun. So yeah, yeah, I'm glad this Sony camera is working out well. The old ivory tickling. So I'm actually planning to get a different mouse mat. You see, this mouse mat is massive. It's like 120 centimeters wide and 60 centimeters deep. Because the reason I got it is because the keyboard slides around more on the desktop, and so I tend to lose my place. And but I want to get a different color one because a black keyboard on a black background just doesn't look good with a black t-shirt. And so I want to get a blue one, but it's really hard to get. It's really hard to get bespoke colored ones. I can hear my neighbor's kid downstairs banging on the door, even though it's like midnight or something. So I really want to get a blue one, Musitude blue, and I'm looking at some mechanical keyboards. Well, RGB lit ones. So I think it would look good with a darkish blue mouse mat, and a white keyboard with RGB lighting so that each key I press lights up. But I do tend to like chiclet flat keyboards, so I don't want one with lots of deep keys. So I'm doing research. There's a Cooler Master one that I'm looking at actually, S621. Let's see if we can find it. Cooler Master S6. Is it Cooler Master? Yeah, it is. X621 white. What? Maybe I'll just put. I think it might be is it another company? Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know whether there's a white one on display, but it's got a pretty flat profile keyboard and it's got good good RGB lighting on there. Problem is that I hate wires, so I was hoping to get one that's wireless, but if it's Bluetooth, it'll probably have some latency, which will be a pain. What about if I whack it in here? Will it come up with... There it is. Right there. Oh yeah, baby. We need that. Bluetooth, you see. Bluetooth's great, but it's so finicky depending on what else you're using your computer for, all sorts of different things. So with a lot of things it doesn't matter, but with music, even if there's what, an 1/8 of a second delay, it throws you off, and music can be quite fast. So these have got cherry red switches. I'm not really bothered about mechanical. I'm happy with these type of regular keyboards, but I would like well, the whole idea about getting that keyboard was it's standalone and it has good RGB lighting, but in reality I'll probably have to use the cable for it, which is a pain. So that brings it down to the benefit of it being the RGB lighting, because I could just go on Amazon and get a regular white keyboard like this that uses, this one uses an RF little USB dongle, so I have no problems with the signal speed. But yeah, it's not easy to find a keyboard like that with good RGB lighting. I mean, I don't like all the swaying RGB, but I just want it so that each key I press lights up as I press it, because I think that would look pretty good on the stream. It would just make it a bit more appealing visually. But so this is the closest I could come to it. They're not massive keycaps, and they have a very small amount, I think it's like 3.4 millimeters of activation distance. So yeah, I think a blue background on a mouse mat and that keyboard would be sweet. All right, what time is it? Can you hear that? Is the microphone picking it up? That's like a 3-year-old at 11:44 p.m. Cute lad. But when he wakes up and he doesn't want to be locked in his room, he'll just bang on the door like a crazy person. My niece Katie used to do that actually. Alrighty then. We're still going on YouTube. Yep. Still cracking away. D-Live still blasting away. Okay. I was going to do some music transcription tonight. I wonder if I should do some. Would I be that brave? Let's find a piece. What? Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Definitely muted Alexa. Alright, what's this piece? Alexa, stop.
I'm reminding you.
Alexa, stop.
Turn the sound back on your phone.
Damn. Oh, you know what? Alexa is muted. I can see it's red. But if you set a reminder, even though it's muted, it's only muted for listening to me. It's not muted for actually giving reminders. I thought the mute would mute the reminders as well. So not only did I not mute the reminder, but I muted myself so I couldn't stop the reminder. Whatevs. Okay, that's nice. That's a Purcell piece. Okay, I've got a choice of this Beethoven piece, which is utterly charming, or this Purcell piece, which is going to be a bit easier, I think, but not as awesomeistic. All right, I think I'll do the Purcell piece. Here it is, and this will be a good way to illustrate. Okay, so this is what I need. I need the piece. It's actually two pages of music. Not much. Well, one page if you had 4 on one screen. All right, so I need that, and I need I need my text editor, Atom. So this is where I put the initial notation, and then I go into the goodness sake, I'm not logged in. Hang on a second. Let's just turn this away from screen. See, I'm learning. Last time I was typing my password on camera. All right, so the management. Okay, bear with me a second. Okay, what you see here is the back end of the Musitude website. Here's where you get to see all the magic. So these are the users. Actually, this is not the number of users we have on the website. We used to have a requirement to create an account to log in to sign up, and then we decided to get rid of that just so people can just use the website entirely without having to log in and create an account. So this is what the number got up to before we did that. So here's the notation that's on the site, and let's just look at a random piece like Beethoven's For Elise. Oh yeah, I haven't played that for a while. So here I'll add the piece and all its characteristics, and then I might edit the piece. Well, I'll show you that later. So what I'm going to do first is convert this music into data. So this part's going to get boring, so I'll try and think of something fun to talk about while I do it. What would happen if I wanted to play music? So if I just searched on YouTube for copyright-free music. Free background music. Free non-copyrighted background music. Let's see what this one sounds like. Oh, it's not bad. I'll play this in the background for you. Tell me if it gets annoying. Okay, so this is what I do. Now I used to use a scale. So this is top part is in range 3, bottom part I'm not sure. So I used to use a scale like this, so that I could know the name of the note. But I've been training myself to recognize them. I might still refer to the scale a little bit. Okay, so this is what I would do. I'd write the name, air in D minor. Henry Purcell is the composer. And double space that. Now I will take each one of these notes and we'll give them a value. If they're low down, they get a lowercase A, B, C, D, F, G. If they're higher up, they get uppercase. And if they're even higher up, they get an uppercase with a caret symbol. Anyway, so see how we go. So this piece is in a key signature. I think it's F. So it has sharp. It has a flat. Every time it's a B, that B must be a B flat. Them's the rules. So I'm going to start here. You know what? I'm gonna lowify it. Lowify this. Stretchify that. Then big it up. Yeah, boy. Right, let's see if my memorization has worked well. So that is a D. Let's look at a previous one just to refresh my memory. Oh, okay, so let me just cut that. Actually, no. Cut that. Put it there. And then go here. Don't forget this. Part 1. Then I start. So you can see this piece that I made earlier for a different piece of music. It looks like a complicated chord, but it's not really though. It just, the number tells the duration, how many beats. And the letter just is the note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's all it is really. So let's do this. So what do we have here? This is a D. But as you can see on this note, because there's only 7 in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then we have lowercase for the first octave, then we switch to uppercase for the second octave in this range, then uppercase with this little symbol, it's called a caret symbol, for the next octave. So I don't have to look at the chart anymore to recognize what note to write, but I do have to look. Alright, so this is a capital D. Oh, I just forgot again. I think it's background music, which is the first piece I found. Actually, I think I might camel. Alright, so the beat goes first. So how many beats is this? It's one beat, isn't it? If you understand regular traditional music, this is a quarter note. That doesn't mean it's a quarter beat, because in traditional music, 4 beats is called the whole note, which is, yeah, confusing. And this bar here, it's in 3/4 time. Right? The 4 indicates, yeah, that there's 4 beats of the whole note. And 3 indicates in these, each section is 3 beats. So, boom, just did it. 1 D, that's the note. So look, this line is B, A, B, C, and D. So 1 D. Then space. We're going to the next note. So this is C, but it's got this symbol next to it, which means it's C sharp. Which means there's actually a position or a note halfway between C and D, which in traditional music is confusingly just makes it invisible. It doesn't have a position, doesn't even have a name. It's just it's C, but modified to sharp. Anyway, so here I would write, what is the symbol? Is it? I think it's 0.5, because that's half a beat, isn't it? C plus, I believe, is the way to write sharp. Or is it? Okay, I think it is, yeah. So then I would do a space, and now we're back up to D, aren't we? But it's not a whole beat as this one was, it's half a beat. So again, 0.5, half a beat, and D, capital D, because it's up there in this octave. Right, and now we go to the next note, which is A, and 1 B. So space, 1 A, simple. Only it's not, oh yeah, it's still capital. And so now we go to the next, what they call in traditional music a bar. In Musitude, we call it cradle. So in order for me to be able to distinguish the groupings, I like to put 1, 2, 3 spaces in there. Now we're getting a little bit higher. This is F, G, A. So this is A, but as you see, it's A with a caret symbol to show that, well, to show the system, Musitude system, that it's an octave higher than this A. Okay, so what do I do there? And it's 1 beat, so I put 1, again capital A, and I add the caret symbol. I'm coming wrong here. Why didn't it go? It's supposed to be 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, and then the next note, like this one, half a beat, so that's a G caret, so I go 0.5 G caret space 0.5 A caret space, and this one here is E, and it doesn't have a caret, and it's a whole note, so 1 E, simple like that, and that completes that bar. 1, 2, 3. As Jay-Z said, on to the next one. Never heard that song, just my friend Neil sings it sometimes. Right, you know, I'm hiding the chat window just in case somebody said hello. I better leave it up. Okay, we're getting there. So on to the next one, which is here, which is F. So that is 1 F. Boom, done. Next one. 1. Nope, not 1. 0.5 E. On to the next one. 0.5 F. On to the next one. What comes before D? E, sorry, is 1 D. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've just done 3 bars. This one, and this one. We just transcribed that piece of music for 3 bars. Now we can do this one. So this is a traditional music system symbol for 2 beats in the note of E. So here I just write 2 E. That's all. Space down to ear, which is A. And this is 1 A. Now you notice I do 1, 2, 3, 4 notes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, but here I've only done 2 because this is the value of 1 beat, and half a beat equals 2 beats, 1 beat equals 3 beats, but this is 2 plus 1 is 3, so it's the same number of beats in each section. So this line is done. This line here is the deeper part, so they're 2 different parts of music. It's a duet. So where was it? So now I bring up part 2, and I finish. Wow, this is a really short piece, isn't it? Mercifully for me and you. Alright, so now I'm going to transcribe this other line of music. Continuing. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so here we go. A, but remember our system. Our system shows me that this A, yeah, so 1 A, that's it. Okay, then you know how I know this is G? Because what is this? This looks like a music symbol. Actually, this is the letter G just done in a really stylized way. And that's the letter F to tell you that this is the F line, this is the G line. So the next note is here, but it's only half a beat, so 0.5 G. Boom. Back to A. 0.5 A. Boom. Next one down is F, but it's one beat, but it's in a lower octave. So instead of a capital F, I do lowercase f. Boom, boom, boom. 3 onto the next cradle. So this is C. 1 uppercase C. Boom. Now we're on B. But previously we had a modifier telling us, oh, that note was a sharp. Here it's a B, but we're in this key signature. I think it's F. So we're in this key signature, and this says that everything on this line, unless otherwise instructed, is a B flat. So here I will type, oops, I will type 0.5 B minus. And that will tell the system to play it as a B flat, or to write it as a B flat on the Musitude screen. Boom. And it goes up, doesn't it, from B to C. So again, 0.5 capital C, space, then one beat, and A. 1, 2, 3, on to the next bar, almost done. This is F, one beat F, space, 0.5 E, space, 0.5 capital F, space, then 1 D, 1, 2, 3, and this one here is G, but how many beats is it? It's 2 beats, so I just type 2, and G, space, and this next one is, oh geez, yeah, one beat, A, but it's in a higher octave, so it's got an A with a caret symbol. And that's it. This piece, where's this go? This piece is now done. Let's have a look. So if I want to now go like this, boom, boom, I can write part 2, and I can do this other part. But I just want to have a look at this. Let's go foliage. Actually, if I look at it all from beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's like one line. Whatevs. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is show you the magic, how it works on the system. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a moment. Now this is how I create music on the Musitude website. Don't need this for now. Oh, that music finished, didn't it? Let's find some more, shall we? Audio library from content creators. Save music. So do business music. Whenever there's a video about some business topic, you always hear this music, right? Yeah. Non-copyright music. It's 4 minutes. Ah. Okay, let's check this one out. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Alright, so if I show you the back in here notation. So I wanna create a piece of music and put it on the Musitude website. But if we don't have the composer already listed, then I would have to go here and add a new composer, add his name. But who's this fella? Let's do a Control F and search for Purcell. See, we've already got this composer, Henry Purcell. So I don't need to do that. So now I go to notation. We have Henry Purcell pieces of music, but we do not have this piece, Air in D minor. So I click New. And let me just move this up so you can get a view of both. I'm just going to do part 1 for now, but I'm going to add part 2 later. So, what's the title of the piece? I'm not even going to type it, I'm just going to copy and paste it. It's called Air in D minor. What's the genre? Classical. Is it published? I'll just say yes. That means if we're still working on a piece, or if we think a piece isn't done right, then what we do is we put it into private or under review. But even though it's not actually finished, I'm just going to put it in published. And who is the artist? So I scroll down here and to find him. Oh, is it going to be in Henry? It is, isn't it? Oh, I missed him. He was right there. Henry Purcell is the artist. And I create the piece. Well, or rather, I now got to find it. In D minor, Henry Purcell. There it is. And now I go and edit the piece. I mean, I created the card for it. It doesn't exist. So now I'm going to add it. Alright, so it's already got the title in there, Air in D minor. The type of music, it's a duet, and this part is duet part 1. Difficulty, I would say beginner. Play style, I can't remember what. He's always very stately, isn't he? Purcell. Stately. So people can write, whoever transcribes music on Musitude, got a mosquito. Whoever transcribes music in Musitude can write whatever they want. In traditional music, there's very formal, set terms. And I'm not sure if they're set actually, but they've got to be in Latin. Allegretto, adagio. But because we try to put everything to be as, hey, recorder guy, hi, how's it going? I'm actually doing some transcribing. Let me just read your message. Just joined the stream. Is that notation written as duration in quarters followed by pitch, name with a plus for sharp? Yes, very good. I actually just explained that before you come on. And actually, let me just show you the log. This is for the range 3. So the first note, the lowest note in range 3 is just the last note, the G of the other octave. So we had this little asterisk as a modifier. So the first octave we just do in lowercase letters, A to G. Then the next octave up we have in uppercase, and then the next octave up we have in with a caret symbol. I never knew what that was called. Apparently it's called a caret symbol. And yeah, and then I think we used a hash for sharp and a plus, and I can't remember if I had them changed just one or the other. So I might be wrong in using the plus. It might be a hash, but I think it's the plus. I've got it written down somewhere. And yeah, a minus for a flat. And if I come across in a key signature piece, if I come across a natural, I can't remember what I do with. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the hash is a natural because it looks a little bit like a. It looks a little bit like a natural symbol. And so yeah, the plus is a sharp. So yeah. So now what I'm doing is I'm at the stage of, is this music annoying? Do you have a way to automate going from MuseScore? Not yet. Let me just lower this. Let me just lower this. I found some copyright music on YouTube that I can use for background music. No, but we've written some software which will allow us to convert XML files. So I think MuseScore might let us download the piece as an XML file. So we're going to add MIDI files to that as well. Actually, at the moment, I like the fact that I'm doing it manually because it helps me understand pieces more in music, and it also helps the viewers understand. Well, when I get viewers, it helps viewers understand the piece and the process. But eventually, yeah, we want to implement the code we've already written, and apparently it's pretty sophisticated. I'm not a coder myself, but our lads think it's pretty sophisticated, where you could take a piano piece, for example, and it would break it into 3 parts, and it would just know the left hand would break into 2 parts. So, all right, okay, that's cool, yeah. And there's a huge number of MIDI files as well, which have the music notation code in them. So we can modify that. And once we've implemented it, in fact, I used to describe it incorrectly. I used to describe it as we drop the XML file into our back end and it will translate it. But actually, as I understand it, it won't do anything to it. It will just store it. And then when the user searches through the menu for that piece of music and they click on it, it will just read it and transcribe it on the fly onto their screen. So there won't be any need to like have a store of XMLs and translate them into Musitude and then save that translation. I think it will just, it will do it live because it's just so fast. So yeah, so I'm just taking this piece here. Let me just finish off this instrument. I think I always go with piano. I should vary things up. Instrument, and the signature is 3, isn't it? Yeah, thanks. I wish there was a way that I'm using a restream to read messages. I wish there was a way that I could have an audio, so a little ping happens. And I think you can set it in the settings so only I would hear it, the user wouldn't. Because sometimes my peripheral vision doesn't get as a message. Oh, another thing I can do is I can just big it up really big so that the visual of it coming on. All right, so range, oh, it's in range 3. The tempo, I don't know the tempo yet. I'll just call it 120 for now. So basically, I'll just take this piece that I just transcribed for part 1 and I just copy this and paste it into here and then create. And now uh-oh, something wrong there. That means I've used some kind of incorrect syntax. Let me just check it. What did I get wrong? 1D, 0.5 C sharp, 0.5D, 1A, 1A caret, 0.5 G caret, 0.5 A caret, 1E. I don't see any issue there. Let's do it on the fly. Okay, so it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0.5 G caret? Why is that an issue? See, you see the reason it looks different here is because it's translating it into Musitude. So now it's using G, V. Why is 0.5? Is there such a thing as a G sharp? Does it start over A? I'm not sure what you mean. Start over A where? G for the caret. Let me just show you the actual notation then. So it was a 6 note, wasn't it? Let me big this up a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's oh, there's no. It's not a sharp. There's no such thing as a G sharp. Why did I put a caret in there? That's cool that the system. Is there a G sharp? There isn't a G sharp, is there? That must be why, because it knows that. Caret it just means in that particular octave. Oh wait. Ah, look at that, yeah. Yeah, I got it in the wrong one. You're smarter than me, you should work for Musitude, dude. Let's try it again. It's great though, it's great to have syntax checking in it. So that when a dunce like me messes it up, then the programming is a safety net. Okay, let's try it now. Yeah, boy! So now what happens is I go to the Musitude website, all right, Drum roll, please. Where's that YouTube video? Background music. Let me just pause that for a minute. Drum roll, please. Musitude. Boosh. What was it? Air in D minor. Go full screen to do the honors. Then Air in D minor plus L. Like that. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what I was going to learn originally. Right, Air in D minor. Let's see how that looks. Gosh, it's a really short piece. Okay, now I'm going to play it. Did I get? That's the whole piece. I'll show you where I got it from actually. There's a website that I really like called The Great Repertoire. Although I'm not sure I can play the piece. He can't copyright the music, but he can copyright his performance of it. There it is. Is that it, really? Let's listen to it. Oh, sorry, every time I try and change my OBS graphic, oh, there's more. I must have only screenshotted the first bit. Nice. Oh, you think it would have a repeat on it? I might add a repeat actually. All right, so obviously I only played this part, but I think I got. Did I get the? Is that right? Try that again. Is that a accidental repetition? No, it's a mistake, isn't it? That is a mistake. Yeah, that's right. And this is why I separate it into, you know, in Musitude we call these cradles. They are the equivalent of bars in traditional music. So this is why I separate it with 3 spaces, so I can just recognize them. And I just know it. So 1, 2, 3, end of the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have this as an A when it should be, if I look at the original, look at the original, 1, 2, 3, 4, it should be an A going to a D. Boom! So it should go to a D. Yes! I love it when a plan comes together. And again, I copy this. Then I go to, oh my God, I've got 3 screens and I still run out of space. Where's the management? Management. me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Put that up there. Up through 2 and then change the last 2 notes. Hang on, just let me find where's the management screen? Let me get rid of that. Oh my goodness, it's on the same browser in a different tab. So edit that. Bish bash bosh. Replace that. Click edit. Go back. Refresh. Play. Is that right? That doesn't sound right. Right, what was that you said? I would copy and paste the first part up through the 2E, then change the last 2 notes. Because it repeats the phrase. Yeah, if it repeats, it's always a good idea to. But I didn't study it yet, so I only have the first page saved for some reason. It's weird. That's okay. I can see here. I just want to check if that bit's right though. You know, one cool way to do this is to let me just move this up. Is to play along with it. Does that sound right to you? Oh, that a bit. Okay. This would be cool actually. Live transcription from a viewer. Hang on. I just want to make a legal statement here that this is not conferring ownership or IP. Is it going to work? There. Huh. Yeah, it did. Something doesn't sound right, so I want to check this. I'm going to check Chimoni. And this time I'm going to do it from the horse's mouth. Do 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 do. What did you change? Let's see. Did I type something wrong? Hang on. Copy it. And I'm just hoping you didn't embed some super sophisticated virus into this. I think I might have got something wrong though, because it doesn't sound right. Boom. But it's the same length, so you didn't add more, did you? Anyway, I'll edit it. Refresh. See this here? That's a glitch. Well, actually it's not. It just means open-ended and not continuing on the next line, but we don't have a next line yet. Let me play it. Actually, I'll autoplay it. Let the computer decide. Is that how it goes? A space. Let's have a look. Did you? Let me just type it into here just to check. Right after the E. Which E? I'm a bit dyslexic myself, so do you see the 1A right after the 2E in the middle? 2E, 1D. I see a 2E here followed by a 1D. 1A like this, 1A, 1A. Alright, I guess that's easier. Like that. Alright, let's put it in, see what happens. Excuse me. Alrighty then. Okay, go here. Boosh. Oh, see, still something missing. Thank you. Nope, something missing there. No, it's here we go. 1, 2, 1. Oh, it is a 3. It is a 3. Did I have it as a 3? I don't remember myself doing it. So let's do it as a 3. Copy that. Whack it back in. This has got to work perfectly. Yeah, boy! Collaboration. All right then, come on. I'll give you a challenge. Do the second part. Yeah, I'll leave it up there for you while I go and make a cup of tea. How about that? This the G clef line. Do you reckon you can do it? I'm pulling my best Tom Sawyer paint the fence scam here. If you give me the thumbs up, I'll go and make some tea. All right, I'll hold off on the tea. Now I want to finish this. Let me just go back to the human connection. All right, you can watch me at work. I'm just really slow at the moment because I've been learning the notes. I know the system really well, but the traditional music I know, but I'm just not a massive sight reader. All right, so I need to take this, cut it, whack it in here. Okay. That's the end of that line, then new line. Put it back here. I'll leave that for now. Okay. I don't need much space there, so I can bigify that. Bigification. I'm going to put the background music on. Alright, so where did we get up to on this one? We got up to... Is that the last one or? Okay. So starting again on the new line, it will be... Oh, I need that... I need my little log. Scales. Range 3. There it is. So I need my little log to refer to. Just to make sure. Okay, cool. So, starting out, it will be 1 A space, then 0.5 lowercase g, 0.5 uppercase A, and 1 lowercase f. 1, 2, 3. On to the next. It shouldn't take long. This will be a challenge for me because I'm not sure if I should do it in range 2 or range 1. But anyway, let's finish this one first. So 1, capital C, then 0.5 B, oops, 0.5 B flat. Then 0.5 C. And 1A, 1, 2, 3. Cool. 1F. 0.5 E, 0.5 F, 1 D, 1, 2, 3, and 2 G. I put a caret there last time for some reason. 1 A, and this one does have a caret. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm down here. So again, it's 1 B caret, 0.5 A caret, 0.5 B caret, 1 E, 1, 2, 3. So 1. Really? Did I not do it? Oh, of course. That's why it wasn't sounding right before. Shit. I was forgetting about the key signature. I only remembered when it's on the actual key line. That's a good catch there. Thank you. Same for this one, right? Oh, why is the caret? No. Where do I put the caret? That's. Oh, you know what? Where do I put the? I'll put it after. I've never checked if I should put it before or after. I reckon it'll be after, right? We'll find out if it works or not. Okay, that was a good catch. What about this one? Oh, that's down there, isn't it? No, it is. Yeah, I've got it written down somewhere. My programmer. It's a pretty simple setup. All right, where are we even? 1, 2, 1A caret 0.5 B flat caret. Oh wait, that's not B, is it? Hold on a minute. No, that's not A. 0.5 to G and back to A. 0.5. That's it. Caret. And D. My camera's blocking my view. 1E. 0.5 D. 0.5 E. Good job I can touch type. You don't have to look up and down all the time. Then 1 C sharp. So that would be 1 C and plus. And then finally 3D. Nice. Now if I put this into the management, if I can find it. Where is it? Oh yeah, nice one. You're becoming an essential part of the Musitude transcription service. I better save this as well, because if the computer crashes, I'll lose it all. What's the save? There it is. Yeah, I mean, I've only just started doing it actually, so once I get used to it, I'll just be able to, it'll just be like reading a piece of English and just typing it into the computer. It'll just get really, really easy. Henry Purcell, what is this called? In the minor. Yeah, I mean, I'm anticipating once I've been doing it a lot, it'll be really fast. And then, I mean, for you it's interesting because you're a musician, but for other viewers it might not be that interesting if I'm too slow. But if I'm just whacking them out, putting them on, trying them, especially if it's a duet, and then, for example, even now if I do this both parts, I could kick it off and play part 2 or part 1, and you could play the other part. It wouldn't actually be in the same time because there'd be latency, but that wouldn't matter because you would hear the counting. So even if it came an hour later, you could still play along in reality. Alright. Well, not valid. Can't use colons in the name. I can use. Alright, I just saved that to make sure I don't lose it. Alright, now I can't find the background music. There it is. So now I'm going to whack this back in here. I'll actually explain what's going on with this. So right now we're updating our backend servers. We're adding functionality so that when I do this here, I can actually when I do this, we're adding another tab here for key signatures. So I can just click on the drop down, bring the drop down and choose the key signature. That way I mean, with this one, it's not a problem for me, but when it gets to key signatures with 4 or 5 flats or sharps in them, it'll be a massive headache for me to get halfway down the page and memorize is this sharp or flat. I mean, you saw I missed it already, right? So what will happen is we've added this, it's on our test server now, we're just testing it. I will click on the drop down and I would choose the key signature. And then I can just ignore what the key signature is. And I'll go through here, and whenever I hit a note that's supposed to be a sharp or flat, I don't need to type sharp or flat, I just type the note that's on the page. And the system will know to make it a sharp or flat. The only modifiers I will have to look out for is if I see a note that's got a natural sign. Yeah, that way I'll just put the hash key next after it, and it will neutralize that action. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, if I was a really experienced musician, it wouldn't be needed, but I'm not, and other people are not. That might want to do some transcribing. So, oh shit. So actually, what's happening right now is because they're in the middle of taking the server to pieces and putting it back together with that functionality with some extra code, it's messed up this end a bit, so that's why I have to save it in Atom. Usually I just save them on here. So, no errors, go here, refresh, background music, pause. Yeah, see that? There it goes. I'm going to play it. Here we go. What the hell? Oh yeah, here we go. There, that was sight reading. I can sight read. Actually, hey, by the way, recorder guy, have you been to the website, Musitude website, and played any pieces? I know you're a traditional musician, so it won't be as appealing, but I was just curious if you played any pieces. And by the way, thanks for the follow on Twitch. I'm up to 18 now. If I could get to 50, I would get some kind of accreditation, but I'm not sure I want it, to be honest, because I don't want to be forced into just doing exclusively on Twitch. I want to stream to Facebook and YouTube as well. That's great. I can't wait now. I'm going to add the other part. I have a question before you. I don't know how long you're going to stay chatting, but I do have a question for you actually. A technical question about music. So here's the folder. Cool. Here's the folder with some of the pieces that I want to transcribe. So take a look at this. So usually what I do, this is my policy, but I don't know if it's the correct thing to do. I had a transcriber guy, but he's kind of busy right now. So usually what I do, if I want to transcribe this into a single note piece, I would just do the very top note and ignore whatever the bottom note is. Or in some cases, I might make 2 parts and do the bottom notes as the part 2. So if I wanted to transcribe this, and even on this bass part here, obviously I have to choose one of these. So is it the top one that's always going to be the more appropriate one to go for to get the melody? What do you think? I know recorder's not polyphonic either, but I guess I gotta experiment. I was gonna do this one tonight because it's a really, really nice piece. Played a bit too fast, but yeah, I had this key signature. I didn't want the headache of that. Do 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 do. Right, yeah. Only I would have to both listen to it, and then I wouldn't really be able to distinguish between those notes, or do trial and error. But I guess, yeah, if I play one or the other, I can sort of guess. But Yeah, this particular piece is really nice. Actually, let's find it. What do you mean you choose this one here? Right. I mean, yeah, it would be simpler if I could just consistently choose one or the other. I'd have to have more musical knowledge to be able to discern it. So I might just farm this out to my guy. This one I already did. I played it earlier, so it's no problem because it's just Alright, I think when I do my next stream I'll do the bass part of this and then we'll have a duet going on. That's cool. Wow. It's 10 to 1. I've been trying to get up early every day. In the bass clef, second note is a chord. Ah, that's a good point, yeah. It's not just what's the best note in that line, it's what's going to harmonize better. Yeah, I've been trying to get up every morning between 6 and 8 a.m. here in the UK. And since about a month ago, I've been doing exercising. Because I'm getting a bit old and fat. So I've been working out, so I feel great. So now it's 10 to 1. I better knock off so I can keep my schedule going. But yeah, I'm using a mirrorless Sony A5100 camera for the keyboard. Because the Logitech cameras are alright, but their autofocus software is crazy. It keeps turning itself off and you keep jumping for focus. So, yeah. Dare I ask how old you are? I'm 55. Believe it or not. And I got a bad back and a big belly. But yeah, I started out, what I do is I first do a bunch of stretching exercises, quite a lot actually, almost yoga type. And then after that, I do 10 push-ups, and proper ones, not those moving your body all over and pretending, nodding your head like you've done a push-up, all the way down to the chest, all the way back up. Oh, thanks. So I do 10 push-ups, then I do 10 sit-ups, big ass sit-ups. Then I do 10 squats, and then I do planking for 20 seconds. And then I get up and wait like 10 seconds, rest. And then I do that set a second time, and then I do it a third time. When I started a month ago, it was really hard. I wasn't even doing 3 sets, I was doing 1 set. I was puffing and sweating. And now it's gotten to the point where I just do it, and I'm hardly even sweating, so that's good. And so I'll just, I'm gonna wait until the end of this month so I can do that whole set. And then after I've done that whole set, I'll just do it quicker before I add more. So I can go through them all really quick without resting in between them all. And then I'll slowly start adding more. 10 push-ups was the hardest. When I get to 7 and 8 and 9. Oh man. I think just 10 or 12 years ago when I was doing some exercises, I could do like 30 or 40 push-ups. Now it feels like I'm pushing the whole weight of the whole world up. Get rich to have a pool. Yeah. Yeah, my goals also get rich, make Musitude successful, and a whole bunch of other plans. I'm writing a book as well, like a children's book. But so what I do is I do everything that I need to do. I put it all into one segment. So I do stretching exercises, then the exercises, then I meditate for a couple of minutes, then I pray because I'm a believer, read the Bible a bit, then I do some work on my book because I've been procrastinating for ages. I just, no matter what I feel like, my goal is you just write for 10 minutes, write just at least 1 paragraph. But once I'm writing, I get into it. And then after I finish that, I do some note memorization stuff. And then I feel like, especially if I do it early in the morning, I feel like I've already done a whole day's activities, accomplishments. And so, yeah, but I just feel amazing because I'm also on the keto diet and the low FODMAP diet. So my nutrition is off the chart. So plus with exercise, I feel super positive every day. Yes. But hey, I'm really glad you came on and helped me out, because I think I was messing it up, wasn't I? And so you gave me some good advice there. So yeah, I think I'll do another stream in a few days. And I want to get to the point where I'm doing them every single day. I've just got to get comfortable with it, with all the setup and everything. The more I get comfortable with all the setup, the more it won't feel like work doing all the setup, and I'll just get in there and just do it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun chatting, and thanks a lot for your help. It was pretty cool. I'm going to tell my guys about that, me sending you the code and having you correct it and send it back. That's the kind of thing I want to do. I actually want to encourage other people to stream Musitude. This is the official Musitude, and so I thought it would be cool if some people might want to stream, but they maybe they don't know any games they want to play, or maybe they feel like everything's saturated and so many people playing the same game and they want something unique. So yeah, if they hang out with us, and eventually I'll start encouraging other people to actually do the streaming. So thanks a lot, and thanks for your support on Twitter. When we've got like 100,000, when we've got, let me go on the big screen. When we've got like 100,000 live viewers every stream, you can say you were the first regular. You can say you were the first one to come on there and get involved, and you can be a moderator. Record a guy, let it be known. It's on the history books now, so the first one. All right, so I still haven't come up with a sign off, so I could do with some suggestions there. I'm not going to go with the peace as I usually do, and I was trying Musitude out, but that's corny as well. All right, so let's see if we can inspire each other with sign off ideas. Let me think. So see you on the next one. That's kind of weird and a bit cliche. Corny is the point, yeah. That's right. I still like, yeah, boy, just before I shut it off there. All right, so I'm just going to say, yeah, thanks for watching the stream, or for watching the VOD if you're watching the VOD. And see you next time I stream, whenever that is. Okay, later, dude. Thanks a lot, recording guy. Ending the stream. Wait, if I press this...